Welcome back into Delphine's Handcrafted. I'm Deborah.
I'm Jasmine.
And we are excited to be doing another podcast today. We've actually gotten a little further than our MCALs and things that we've been doing, so we have some things to talk about. We hope that you enjoy. When we did our last podcast, I got pretty sick, so it went up very late, so it was just recently put up. It's obviously, as you listen to it, we talk about Halloween things and stuff, so it was obviously put up late, and I marked that it was late. But this is now, it's going to be probably 2 weeks maybe since our last yeah, I don't know, we're a little bit on track. 2.5 weeks maybe since the actual podcast. And so we've gotten some things done besides our MCAL. When I did the MCAL, I pretty much was doing nothing else except for one thing that I absolutely had to get done. So goals for last time, mine was to finish Clue 2 on the MCAL. MCAL's done. The video already has been up, so we hope that you check that out. And to finish, my son's, my granddaughter's mother wanted 2 Halloween costumes made that she had told me what she wanted made and found me a picture. So that was my goal. How about you?
I had a goal of finishing the yoke on the sweater I'm making for my brother, and to finish the section that we were on the MCAL, which was section 2.
So that was our goals. We'll see how we did with those. So first in our video today, we are going to be talking about finished objects. Correct? Mm-hmm. I have none. Except for the MCAL. The MCAL we finished.
That's what, I'll show it. Mine. I finished the MCAL as well. There's just a piece of it.
It's very hard to show on screen. It's huge. But if you want to see the actual picture of the thing opened up, we've put that on our MCAL video.
Yep. So, whips.
Did you have any other finished objects?
No, I said no.
Okay.
I only
Sorry.
had the MCAL.
So whips. We'll just start with mine so I can get a big thing out of the way. Still working on the cottage core blanket. And I still haven't finished the section. But I did do more now. And it's because I have too many whips. But I think I only have 2 more rows to do on this section, so it has grown a little bit. And it's looking pretty good. So I think I like that. It's just a pattern. It's showing very well on there. I'm having a hard time seeing the screen.
Yeah, it was showing before at least.
It's just basically random pattern. Honestly, I don't know what the pattern's even supposed to be, but in between each section, there's usually sort of just a random pattern. Now this one had what was supposed to be flowers, but I described before as bushes, but as you can see down here, here's another just sort of random pattern. So in between the sections of pictorial type mosaics, like a teapot, there's usually just some random pattern. So I will be hopefully finishing that soon. I only have, I think, 2 more rows to it.
My turn.
Yeah, go ahead and you take your turn.
I talked about this in the video that we made on the MCAL, but I had recently been having issues with old injury to my wrist, giving me pains whenever knitting. So I decided to start a cross stitch project. So I started the cross stitch, and I got...
It looks like so much.
And I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, maybe 1,300 to 1,400 stitches done.
That's all one color, right?
No, there's
the outside.
There's a few other colors. Well, the outside is just bordering.
Yeah,
so I know where
colors it looks. Well,
it's meant to be. So it's I'll show a picture of it. It's a Doctor Who cross stitch that is going to end up looking like this. And I am on this one over here, so it's like mainly it's supposed to be like looking
very dark,
solid, essentially. Which is the first Doctor, Will Hartnell, I think is the actor's name that played him. But
she's still working on her Pokemon one too.
Yeah.
But she's been wanting this one for a long time. And at first I said she had to finish the Pokemon one, but that would never happen. That thing is going to be huge. And it's lots of different colors, right? I mean, that thing has tons of color changes.
this one's like long but skinny. I already have 1% done on this one. Or a little bit over 1% done on this one. But the Pokemon one is like longer than my torso. And as wide as me, probably. Yeah. So it's a lot of colors. It has like 151 colors. If I remember correctly, that might be incorrect, but I feel like it's 151.
Which we purchased separately at different times. We did not go to the checkout with 151 colors. Because they scan those things individually. Do you want me to go next?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I will show... I, once again, forgot to find the colorway name on this. But I am making a sweater for my granddaughter for Christmas. And this is what I got so far. It is made with herringbone stitch. And I know that it's a big twist yarn that comes in the little cakes. I will have to find the colorway and I'll list it here. The pattern name is my favorite.
I think it's my favorite crochet sweater, but hold on. Pullover. My favorite crochet pullover.
Yes, and I can't remember the name of the person that
the designer.
The designer. But it's made with a herringbone stitch, which takes some getting used to, but now I've done it before. It's just done a little differently than a normal double crochet, so it's almost like you have to like pause instead of the normal fluid nosing that you're doing. It's like you have to pull it through, not just the stitch that you pulled it through, not like that loop, but you pull it through the next one. So there's just an extra little step in there. It is
Katie Peterson. That's it.
Yes, Katie Peterson. If you want to look it up on Ravelry, it's called My Favorite Crochet Pullover. So it does have a hood, and the sleeves,
they have an adult version. Is that a hood or is it just a very long cuff?
It says hood. I don't know. It has very long cuffs and very long ribbing at the bottom, which I haven't decided. I was going to use this blue color that was in this skein, so I did do color control on it because when I first did one, I started one and I didn't like that it was uneven at some places. Interestingly enough, around the front it was always looking really good, but on the back there were some scattered spots, so I took it all apart and did color control. There was blue also in this skein. There's not enough to be doing the ribbing. I can tell there's just not enough left to do the ribbing. It's very wide ribbing. So yeah, I have another sleeve to do along with, the ribbing. So down here, and then I have what they're calling a hood to do, and it does have like a little pull string and the ribbing on the bottom. So yeah, that's coming along pretty good. We've had this yarn for a while, like quite a while, and I just wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And I just thought, I'll try that.
You did attempt to make like a shawl at one point with it, but you weren't liking it, I don't think.
So I think it's actually looking pretty cool with the different colors. There is some greenish in there, not very much. There's not much in the yarn ball, and then some white. There's some white in it too. I might just do maybe white.
Maybe.
Ribbing. I'm not sure. But
is this a like worsted weight yarn?
yes, it is. I can't remember the colorway, but that's a whip that I'm in the middle of doing.
So I did not work on the sweater. Like, my goal was finishing the yoke of my brother's sweater that I'm making him. I did not do that. I decided to start my niece's sweater that I'm making her. And I started that, was that 2 days ago? I started that 2 days ago, and I have this much done. It's not blocked, so it's looking a bit wrinkly where increases are, but it looks like that. I am using a, I really don't like that whenever where the increases are, it creates little wrinkles, but
You're using?
There. You can the light was making it not show well. I'm using I have to see what the pattern's called. I'm using the colorwork chart from a Drops sweater called, I don't know, how would you pronounce that?
Lily sand? I don't know.
Jumper, which I do have a picture of it. I'm using the color chart for that, but I'm not using the stitch count or anything for that, because I don't know, I just don't like the way they write their patterns, so I just decided to use the colorwork chart and do math. That's the pattern name. I don't know how to really pronounce it. And then there's the colorwork chart. I mean, colorwork sweater. But I'm using it's a free pattern. I'm using the colorwork chart on it with different stitch counts for my niece.
And what yarn are you using on that?
I am using yarn that is discontinued. It's the Cozy Wool Merino from is it Loops and Thread? Loops and Thread?
I think it was.
Whatever that's called. In the color gray and the color fuchsia. Which is...
It's turning out pretty well. You've used it before, right?
Yeah, I made the sweater that I was wearing in the last video with this yarn.
Yeah, and some people commented on that. So if you have any of that wool hanging around, it is really nice.
It's a DK weight superwash wool mixed with a little bit of anti-pilling acrylic.
So I also got back to working on my sweater. I haven't gotten very far. I've gotten 6 rows done, just 6, and I actually just was working on it today and a tiny bit last night. That's using the Nob Hill yarn Artesia. Now, I had talked about this before. It's has a bunch of halo, like tons of halo. So this is all I've gotten done so far. It's hard to see because it's getting big for the circular, the cord there. Anyhow, there's a lot of halo. So I had said that I wasn't having too hard of a time with it. A little bit of annoyances. But I will tell you, if you use this yarn, don't put it away for a while and put it in a place that your bag might get shuffled around or whatever, and that it's moving around inside, because when I went to do the first row, the next row last night, oh my lord, I had a terrible, terrible time. I don't know if it was like, this is not wool, but sort of felting. I had a terrible time getting through the first row. I think it's just acrylic, actually. Acrylic, polyester, nylon.
And it has 8% a little bit of wool. Not much.
It almost felt like it was felting, and I had a terrible time getting through those stitches that had been left on the needle. But once I get through the first row, I was back to feeling okay with it again. So I at least got back to that. I have been wanting to get back to that sweater. It'd be nice to get this done before winter's over. But that's the one that I had started from the Tin Can Knits, just basic sweater pattern. I am not doing color work with it. I'm just sort of following their pattern.
Excuse me. Sorry. I had to sneeze.
Next on your WIPs list.
So I started also a pillow that I'm making for my grandmother. That is like, I think it's the counterpane.
I can't remember if we showed this last time.
It's the counterpane. Is that how you even pronounce that?
Where are you at? Oh, your counterpane.
Because it sounds weird whenever I say it in my head. It sounds weird. Counterpane pillow. Which, I mean, I guess since I have this book out, I can show a picture. But it's done in, like, separate pieces. So I finished one piece, which hasn't been, like, blocked or anything. So it's a bit... Yeah, it doesn't want to... But it's one section. And then I started the second section, which I'm not very far on it. But second section... Tiny little piece.
This is the one you're making, right?
Yes.
Hopefully you can see it. It's this pillow here.
Yeah. And I'm just using the Patton's Classic wool worsted in the color Aran.
Aran, yes.
Which is interesting. But yep, that's my last.
That's your last WIP?
WIP, yep.
So I only have one more.
I worked on.
So if you check out the content creator My Fairy Treasure, she has been encouraging everybody to make a Lenny Kravitz super shawl. Now, she tells you how to make it on her channel, but if you look throughout YouTube and Ravelry, you'll see all kinds of patterns. But basically, you can do it, she's doing a make-along. I'm going to call it a make-along because you can do it either crochet or you can do it knitting. Now, you can do it any stitch you want to, because basically all you're doing is trying to make it 20 inches wide and long enough to, like, reach your ankles. I'm not sure if I'm going to have it reach quite to my ankles. That can be with fringe. We're using bulky weight yarn, doubled up. So I'm knitting it. You
just dropped a stitch.
Yes, I'm trying to drop it, aren't I? It's gone right back on that needle. So I'm using a size US 19 needle, and I had never used up my chocolate fountain, well, you even opened up my chocolate fountain anniversary cake from last year, so that is what I'm doing. So here, do you want to help? This is what I have so far. So basically, I'm just taking two colors and holding them together.
This is already practically my height.
Yeah, it's very warm feeling, like, and I thinks it feels soft.
It's probably more Omara's height than my height, to be fair.
Yeah, it's
soft. I have a sweater in this. The issue that I do have with it is that it gets like the
fuzziness
on it easily.
But this is the first time I've used this big of a needle, and it's the first time I've ever doubled up yarn.
Yeah, she's holding two pieces of it together.
So basically, I just unraveled the
whole thing.
Well, at first I didn't. I only did parts at first, but I finally got the whole anniversary cake separated out into different balls of colors, and I'm choosing two to hold together at a time. Yeah, so I think I'm not quite halfway done yet. And then you wear it, it's super shawl, you wear it, it's almost like a coat. You wear it around you and it's so long. And she's made a couple. Her name's Angie from My Fairy Treasures.
Are you doing like a set amount of rows for each color section, or are you just doing it until it runs out?
Until it ran out. Now, this part here, I don't think I'm going to have enough of these two colors. I was trying to make this long enough to sort of go around my neck, and then do the same colorway mixes the rest of the way down. We'll see how that goes. I might have to put a different color in there. I'm not sure if I have enough of that to go and then do the same, because it's also used in the other colorways.
You're doing stockinette stitch.
Yes, I'm using stockinette stitch. So if you want to check out my fairy treasures, you can either just, if you want to make one along, you can just make it with the dimensions that I just said, but she'll tell you a little bit about how many stitches to put on and the needles and things like that. But she also has a Facebook group, and if you want to take part, you just, I can't remember the name of her Facebook group.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but I will link it in the box below. You can go on there and just say, yep, I'm in, show a picture of the yarn you're wanting to use and your needle size, and if you're going to crochet or knit, maybe say the stitch you're going to use if it's something different, and you're in on the make along.
I like it.
There's some really cool pictures, so some people are already done. This really isn't taking me that long at all.
No, you've only been working on it for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, and I don't even work on it for a long time.
No.
I'll just pick it up and do some rows, because the needles are very big, and
those would hurt my wrists.
yeah, I couldn't do it for hours and hours, but I do it for little bits of time, and it goes really fast because it's bulky yarn held double. It's going really fast.
Straight needles already hurt my wrists. I can't imagine. Granted, at least they're wood and not metal, so they're probably lighter, I would assume.
So that's our whips.
Yep.
We both have several things going at one time.
Yeah, and I mean, I have also the sweater, my brother's sweater. I just didn't. I did work on it a little bit, but I didn't do enough of it to be willing to show it. So
that's our whips. What do we have planned for the future? This is exciting too.
So, Stephen West announced his. Is it his? How many has he done? Is it
third year? I think third. This is book 3.
Okay, so the oh my goodness.
Hybrid Knit Along.
Thank you. And he just released the third book a couple days ago. I don't know. He just released it, and we purchased it, and we're planning on doing that. And that starts at the end of December, right?
And the name of that pattern is
it's the Aurora
Cabin.
Is that what it is? I just know it's Aurora something.
So if you're interested in doing this, I'm sure he's going to still have videos. If you enjoyed making the MCAL 2022, or you were interested in potentially making it and you're not sure, honestly, his videos are so easy to understand. He is the best teacher. So if you can knit it all, knit and purl stitch, and he'll tell you things like if you can add, increase stitches, but he shows you how to do that. So if you can knit and purl, you can do this. It may take you a while, but you can do this. So the difference between the MCAL and the Hybrid Knit Along is the pattern is already out for the Hybrid Knit Along. It starts, cast on is December 26th, so you have a little ways to go. He has 2 main kits that he's selling. One that's sort of like autumnal colors, like browns and yes.
And then the other one's a bit more like wintry, like with
and
blues.
It's like blues, and I don't even like blue that much, but
it was pretty.
But it's very, very pretty. Quite pricey. You do get his pattern book with it.
Yeah, and a candle and a
these little felt box
like
things
Notions cozy thing.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, and the book comes with several different patterns, not just this one. So if you're interested, it's quite pricey, but you can go over to West Knits and purchase if you want to. I'm not sure if they're still in stock. He also had a couple other colorways that he's selling there that other people designed for him, but you don't get like the candle and things with those.
His book is Hybrid Knitting 3. It comes with 8 patterns. A sweater, some socks, a scarf, a jacket, a hat, the cowl, another hat, and the Aurora Cabin shawl.
Yeah. So I think we're just choosing our own colors this time, not getting his colorways, but we did enjoy his yarns before both yarns that we got.
He does have some other, I mean, I don't know if they're still in stock, but he was selling some other kits that weren't like I guess like, I don't know, sponsored
the ones,
yarns or whatever.
The ones I was just talking about that doesn't come with the candle.
Oh, did you say that?
Yes.
Sorry, I was distracted looking for it. So
there were some other kits. I don't know if they're still in stock or not. But you need 5 different colors. Mm-hmm. Basically between, I think it was like 370 yards to 400. Like the most yardage you need in one color was 400 yards. And it's fingering weight yarn. So you can pick your own colorway too. But I just encourage anybody, so the difference is the pattern's already out. We know what it looks like. It's not some surprise thing. You'll look at it and decide if you like it or not.
Should I show it?
Maybe we'll give it a little bit of time. I'm not sure if but you can go to his website and see it. It's really pretty. He actually was on podcasts where they were interviewing him, and he said it's probably his favorite so far that he's done.
It's very pretty.
So yeah, it's very, very pretty.
Should I?
I guess we could. It's out there.
Yeah, he's already selling it.
So this is his sort of like wintry.
And this is the do you remember what the name is? I don't even remember what the name is. It looks like that. Colors are looking a little bit different, obviously, because it's on another screen. But I have the
so
brightness.
That's the bluish colorway that he's selling in the kit. So we're going to do that. Very, very exciting.
Like that. Sorry, I had the brightness lowered, and I wasn't sure if it was showing well.
Yeah, so it's called the Aurora Cabin shawl. So I enjoyed doing this last shawl, plus the community. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people are doing this. They get together on Ravelry, they make comments, they get interviewed on other people's YouTube channels. You know, that it's an amazing thing to come together. So if you're interested in all, please try it. If you can knit and purl, even if you've just started, please just try it. He's just amazing, and I learned so much from the MCAL 2022. I have so much more confidence in myself now. I was so anxious to start. I was like almost sick to my stomach. I'm not sure I was going to be able to do it. I did it, and it's amazing. So take a chance if you are interested. And if you need some encouragement, let us know, and we will encourage you. All right, so our acquisitions.
Yep, we did order something.
We did get some acquisitions.
We were bad.
I'm just going to start with, I'm not going to pull the other one out. I will drop stitches. I did not have huge needles. Ooh.
Oh, what happened?
I did not have huge needles. We needed size 19 for the Lenny Kravitz shawl. So I did get these needles off of Amazon, wooden needles. Yep. There were plastic ones. They came with this.
They're wooden ones.
Yeah, these are wooden. They came with these little
needles, like tapestry needles. Yeah,
tapestry needles. Thank you. Yarn tapestry needles.
And she also got this Clover 10 millimeter. What's the US size? I don't even know what the US size is.
That's a crochet hook. So that's the size that they were recommending if you do a crochet. Yeah, I took it out for a second for some reason the other day. That's the size that you would use for the Lenny Kravitz shawl if you're crocheting with the bulky yarn. So I think I actually might try and do a crochet one too and find a new stitch to use.
Sorry.
So yeah.
I had to fix the packaging. And
speaking of needles,
so she decided to purchase these, and she said that we could share them. Mm-hmm. I've heard people pronounce it this way. I'm not 100% sure if this is correct, but I've heard a lot of people say it's Licca. I don't know for sure though. The driftwood interchangeable circular needles, the 3.5 inch ones.
So it came with this package here. That's how you spell it, Lykke.
Yeah, so I'm currently... I decided to try them with the sweater I'm making for my niece. Sorry. So they look like this. If that will, I don't know. I assume that was showing properly. They come with. It doesn't say on the thing, so the lengths of cords. It doesn't say.
Do you
on
want to show them how it sits up?
It does. You can like lay it down flat, and there's like a little stand, Velcro stand, so
to make it easy to pull your needles out.
Yeah.
So this came with a US 3 to a US 10.5 needles.
I was talking about the cords.
And then the cords, there were 2 to make it 16-inch, 1 to make it 20-inch, and 1 cord for a 24-inch. Came with 2 connectors, 4 keys, and 8 stoppers.
Yep.
I got this off of Amazon. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So that's our acquisitions for hooks and needles. And then we got some yarn.
I am liking them though. Which I already figured that I would like them, and I've actually been wanting them, but I like the actual full set. And I was between getting the umber ones or the driftwood ones. But here. But I'm
so we got some yarn.
Yep, from Hobby. We made an order from Hobby.
And only because they were having their Halloween sale.
Of which there's a bit of a hole in the bag. So you want to start off, start off with that.
So the first thing we got in the colorway 2, because we know Hobby loves to give numbers.
Is there like
this
slip?
Is the Twister Halloween 55% cotton, 45% acrylic.
Did it come with a slip? Sometimes it has.
I think it's in there. I'm not sure. So this is a 2-weight yarn.
Let's see it.
Isn't that pretty? It's looking very funky on the screen.
There.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty. So we've used Twister before. That's what I made the Buster the Bee out of, but this is their
Twister
cake
solid.
with the different colors. Yes, I got the solid. So let's pull out the other one.
The Dahlia.
So we've also used Dahlia Mixo. This is not Mixo. This is the Halloween for Dahlia.
It doesn't wanna.
I wonder.
Focus.
I don't know why it's not.
You need to center it first of all. It's probably the colors. Anyways, you get a vague idea of what the colors look like.
Yeah, so they're sort of similar, but quite different actually too. So this is the Halloween Dahlia, and it is
very pretty.
Yes, it is very pretty. It is a 2-weight also.
Is it 100% cotton?
That's what I feel like. Yeah. Yes, it's 100% cotton. So I made my
shawl.
Yes.
What shawl?
Oh my goodness. I want to say gratitude shawl. Count Your Blessing shawl.
Yeah.
By Ursula. At OM Granny Squares. I made the Count Your Blessing shawl. It's in previous videos out of the Mixo. So Dahlia Mixo. So this is one of those yarns that has
the separate strands.
Just separate strands that you sort of like have to put a bead or something through to keep them together as you're using them. So we got these.
Then we got some of, let's show this because the rest is. We got she got the Winter Glow,
which is 51% wool, 49% acrylic, and this is in the colorway 5. And I know if you look on their website, it does have a color. I can't think of what it is. So this is a 4-weight yarn. 51% wool, 49% acrylic. I just think this is gorgeous.
Which, we don't have the best of lighting right now, so the color is not coming across nearly as pretty as it actually is.
Yeah,
but
oh my gosh, this is gorgeous.
Mom, bring it.
How many yardage was in this? It's quite a bit.
700 and something yards, am I correct?
Yes, 765 yards, 700 meters. I'll probably get more of these. These are quite expensive, but they were having a huge sale. I can't remember how much they were, but they're usually quite expensive. So if I can find them again on sale, I might get like another one or two of these.
It's so pretty.
It is gorgeous. And I believe that Winter Wonderland blanket I want to make is actually made with Winter Glow, the example blanket that they show you. And I'm not sure if this is one of the colors. I think it's the darker color of the two. The other one is like pistachio or something. And I never can find it. It's always out of stock. So, plus I thought that was going to be a really expensive blanket to make. But it is a gorgeous blanket when you look at it. So, I might get more of this. We got this to just see what it was like. And it definitely feels woolly, but not necessarily scratchy. What do you think? Mm-hmm. It's sort of soft, too, though.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. And a big ball.
It has a bit of, like, sparkly kind of... Like a...
Is that sparkly or is it
I think it's more like metallic, but I'm saying like it's like sparkly. Like it definitely is like it's in the yarn.
I think it's the color of yarn that's making it look like that.
Well, that's what I mean. It's probably more like technically metallic, but it's shiny.
Yeah, very beautiful yarn. Very, very beautiful yarn.
Shiny.
I don't know. Yeah, I wish that you could see how beautiful it is. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So that's the first we've ever gotten that kind of yarn. It is quite expensive at full price.
And then we have sock yarn. The rest is sock yarn. We have a Universe Halloween sock wool, which is 74% wool, 24% polyamide, and 2% polyester. It's sparkly. I said this is my favorite.
Yeah, I do like this.
I don't understand. We're having a lot of issues with focus. There we go.
There it is. There it is.
We were having a lot of issues with focusing. It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm. Super wash. So it's super wash wool. We got one of those.
You're missing one. Yeah.
And we've got two of these.
Which is the Halloween sock wool. I don't think I said the color of that. I didn't say the color of that. I got focused on the weird 74% thing.
It's color number 3.
Yep, this one. So this one is color number, oh my goodness, 4. And it's like a green. It has a little bit of like a purpley gray kind of color. And then the rest is just kind of different shades of green.
So we got two of those.
One is like bordering on yellow.
Yes, and this is definitely woolly.
Yeah, this feels like their this feels very similar to their, what's it, like happy sock wool. What is it called?
Oh, does it? I feel like this is more woolly.
No, it feels the same to me. I might be misremembering, but it feels the same to me.
Okay, then we got two of these. Here, you take that.
Which is a glitter. It's in the color number 2. It's just their Halloween sock wool glitter. It's color 2.
Yep.
Sorry, you weren't centering it.
I'm not sure why I only got one of these.
Maybe they only had one in stock?
Maybe, I don't know. This is another Halloween sock wool glitter, and it is color
7.
Number 7. So this is like grays and oranges. Is that like a purplish black maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's pretty too.
It just looks like straight up black.
A little concerned about the glittery section. Now this glitter is more...
It's the same, Mom. It's just a different color.
Oh yeah, this has a different color glitter than the other. This is more like a silvery, and this is more like an orange.
Green. This is green glitter. This is orange glitter.
Yes. So that's our Halloween sock wool.
Yep.
Colorways that we got.
Which I do have a feeling that this will aggravate my eczema a little bit. But I'm not 100% sure, obviously, because I haven't used it.
I was watching Kelly Creates last night, and she was actually using, so this is the Universe Halloween sock wool, which is different. She was using Universe, and I don't think it was the Halloween, but in this gorgeous purple color to make a shawl. It was absolutely gorgeous.
I thought you said it was Christmas. Why did I think you said it was Christmas?
Oh, this is their Halloween sale. So we got some Halloween, focused yarn colors, and we were glad that came.
Yep.
Some more yarn that we didn't necessarily need, but we don't have anything like that. Like none of these types of colorways,
No.
I don't think.
No, definitely not.
Okay. That's our acquisitions.
Yep. We can talk about some things that we've been up to. You want to start?
Well, I've been watching Doctor Who.
Yep, we both have been watching Doctor Who.
Yes, I watched she was in 3 seasons.
Yes.
I watched the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, she's never watched Jodie Whittaker's seasons.
Yes.
So
I watched all her seasons, including the Centennial. Some people say Centennial. Some people were saying Centurion. I'm not really sure what it was called, the special. So
Centennial.
I watched that. Curious about what's coming up next. The last season, though, was really
weird. That's what you said.
I felt like I was on some
acid.
Yeah, I felt like, it was really strange.
I have not seen that one. I've not seen that one. She is farther than I am at this point.
And we both were binging The Nanny.
Yeah. I used to love that show growing up. So we noticed it was on HBO Max, so we started watching it together.
That show is so funny. Like, you can't help but laugh. Every single show. Just laugh, laugh, laugh. Yep. That show is just so funny. It's old, but it's funny.
Yeah.
And then I binged The First Wives Club, which is actually, what was that, on Netflix?
No, it was on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
But I don't know if it was like an actual Prime thing or if it was on something that, like, else.
Yeah, so this is not the movie. This is a...
it's like a TV series.
Yeah. So it's different. It was interesting.
I watched the first episode with her. It's like, it seems like it's like using the First Wives Club movie from, like, is that the 80s? Was that 80s?
It's a long time ago, but it was a good movie.
I don't know, but I don't know, but it seems like it's using that movie definitely as, like, a main, like, inspiration and kind of baseline for the story, but they've definitely changed.
And she saw a little bit with me, and we were, like, guessing which one do you think is mimicking that other character. And what I found over the course of it is they almost, like, mixed character traits between characters, but not match them exactly. So one character that you would think would be similar to one of the characters in the movie actually then did things that one of the other characters would have done. So it was interesting. I did like it, though. It was different. It was more, up to date, and I liked it, though. I did.
Did they at any point even remotely bring up the Leslie Gore song?
No. That's part of the movie.
That's a shame.
So that's what I did for, watching things while I was knitting or crocheting.
And then I watched The Nanny and a few episodes of Doctor Who with her. So I read, 3 books since the last podcast to now. The first book I read was Pride, which is like a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice that, talks about, like, the gentrification of a neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, I think it's Brooklyn, New York. And it talks a lot about like the cultural differences of people in the area. And then I read the first book in the Vampire Knitting Club series, which was interesting. It's by no means like the best book I've ever read, but I liked it, and it was interesting the way they bring in mysteries along with owning a knitting shop. And then the last book I read was I'm Glad My Mom Died, a memoir from Jeanette McCurdy. Which was very hard for you. Yes. Very.
Yeah, so that's not a book you just want to read if you... It's probably trigger warnings big time, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I already knew quite a bit of what happened because I've watched some interviews of her talking about the book, so yeah. I already was aware of quite a bit of what was going on in it, so.
Yeah, but you thought it was a really well done book. It's very, very hard.
It was very well written, and she talked about her trauma in a I don't know, it was just very well done. And it was well done.
Okay. So, our future goals. What do we want to work on? So, let's talk about our previous goals. Obviously, we both got our MCALs done. So, we met those goals.
Yes.
You didn't quite finish the...
I barely worked on Jury Sweater at all since last time. I said I only worked on it a little bit. I barely got anything done.
So, I also had another finished object, which I did not mention before, and if you see it further ahead in the video, it's because I've remembered to splice it in and put a comment on it. I got one of the Halloween costumes done for my grandbaby, the baby. The other one I did not get done. They did well enough with one, and I got to see her wearing it. So I will insert a picture of the witch costume. It was made with black and purple yarn. I think I might have shown it being started before.
Yes.
So it did get finished, and it was adorable on her. It was humongous to make.
And
I did not expect. Yeah, the hat, they wanted it 6 inches even taller, and I'm saying on her little baby head, it was like this tall, and the pattern said 6 inches taller. Thank goodness I just said, nope, don't need 6 inches taller. That's crazy. But it looks adorable on her. If I did it again, I would not. It literally, if you just put the bodice part upright and put the dress around, it was basically a circle for the dress, and it didn't need to be that much. I mean, it took an entire skein of yarn of the purple.
Yeah.
And
which, granted, it is crochet.
Most of the black. But for a 0 to 3 month old, like, it was quite, it used a lot. I wouldn't have made it, wouldn't make it as big of a bottom. I would, like, tone it in because it was just like in her little carrier that they took around for Halloween trick-or-treating. It was just like bunched up, and like it was huge.
She was just sleeping.
And she was adorable in it though. Yeah. So I got that part of my goal done. I didn't get the second costume done. It wasn't really necessary. That's what they wanted. But.
And I got my MCAL goal done, but I did not get the yoke goal done.
Yeah. So future goals,
yours is purple.
I need to finish my granddaughter's sweater that still needs the sleeve and the cuffs in the bottom part, and then the hood. It says hood. It sort of looks like a cowl. I want to finish that, and I want to finish that mosaic section that only has 2 more rows and plan very specifically. I might start it, but I need to plan very specifically for the next section, which has many different colors in it.
It's the houses?
Yeah, it's the houses on that cottagecore blanket. I have to get it in my head exactly what I'm going to do because it's a lot. And I want to finish my Lenny Kravitz shawl and continue working on my sweater.
I want to finish, hopefully finish, the sweater for my niece. I need to start the socks that I'm making for my brother's birthday, and then I would like to get working on my other brother's sweater again. Those are my
the one that you need to get at least that part done. Mm-hmm. So we have some big goals for next time.
Yep. I should work on the pillow that I'm making for Grandma, but I'm not prioritizing that because it is just like those things take like 20 minutes to make.
That's a nice thing to do if you don't feel like sitting for hours and you're like, I can just pick that up and make that section.
Yeah. So I'm not prioritizing it, but I should work on it, but I don't know if I will.
So big goals for next time. Let's see if we make them. We hope that you enjoyed our podcast, and if you have any comments, leave them below. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't so that you don't miss any future videos. This was probably a little bit long one because we had a lot to share since we've been doing things since the MCAL's over. We've been busybodies with our little needles and hooks, right? and what do you call that? Ada cloth.
That's not Ada.
Oh, what did you use on that?
I don't remember. It wasn't Ada.
Cross stitching.
Yeah.
So, yes, we've been very busy, so we had a lot to show. We hope you enjoyed it. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.